Next shift.
Welcome to a VOD review. This one's going to be for Log. He's going to be playing defense in this game. Lockdown defense, it said. Got caught typing. Nice play. Excellent awareness of the cut back. You were not going to let him cut behind you there. In position for the around. Nice little chip. Keeping Savo in check here. I know you guys scored, but I think you could be a little closer to Savo when he drives out of the zone here. So you're in like perfect position when you follow this play into the zone. I'll try to point it out. Great positioning here. Went back too far. Okay, right here. This is perfect position because otherwise Radiohead would be last man back. This lets him try to get fancy schmancy and make a little move. I love where you are. You're watching for someone to come, try to either strip Radiohead or someone like Savo to come out the top of the zone. But I think you're not. I guess you're going to control these boards, but as long as you can get to these boards before Savo can, you technically control them. So like you could be right here and you'll still get to the boards before Savo. And you have a lot more ability to attack him should you need. So maybe just play a little closer or just try to tighten up the D because you're playing a very loose style, which isn't always bad, but it does give people room to, make a little move here and there. So yeah, you play the face off, turn in, I like it. Good job staying with him. Okay, so I feel like I was a little panicked. You're kind of body blocking him. If you can see someone stick like this, I don't really think he's gonna get around you. Up same is covered. Even just an around pass. I would around, and if you had maybe a little more control over your skating, I would pick this up and carry it. Is that is a blue guy in front of your net. So he may come and attack you if you try that. Really good position, but up until right here, for some reason you peel off Sava. I think maybe you wanted to exert some control over the zone. Maybe I'm not a mind reader, but I'm thinking maybe you're thinking about this space right here. If this puck kicks out, what I might do is try to drive underneath Savo. So Savo's coming out of the zone this way. If you just drive right here, all of a sudden you shut down any pass, and Savo has to either cut across, Savo either he has to give you some sort of reaction, or he's just out of the play. If you come dominate this space, Savo either has to come across to get away from you, or he has to cut back and try to get around you. So I would try to dominate this little corner. Or just wherever Savo decides to go, I would try to beat him up here. And you do kind of lock onto him, but like if this guy wins this 50 down here somehow, right here, this is coming out and he's gone. I can't draw. He's gone, you know. So just being tighter on that coverage, skating slower. So like right here when you're following up, you are skating pretty slow. You're going 11. Let's see. Yeah, you're skating slow. I think it's just decision making. Your teammate, your whole team is already dominating this side. And you end up, because you don't go dominate that space, you end up having to give more ground. This is like a chain reaction kind of. So first Savo comes out, you cut down, and then you realize you're like, oh shit, I gotta go get him. And then he's cutting in now, and then you turn away. Like you see, like once you end up out of position once, it can kind of butterfly effect. Good job wrangling that. See, now you've tightened up your coverage a lot. Yeah, that's much better. See how you're much more in position, even if the play switches to another person, you're able to switch your aggression really easily because you were in tight coverage. You're on Savo, Savo makes the pass. Because you're in the right spot preemptively, you're able to you even forecheck Not Lad, right? Not Lad is like scared of you. He turns away. So now you're in a dominant position. You can get a block off or start to make an attack on him. And he has to do something with it. He can't just get around you. Yeah, this is scary. I like how you played this. General rule of thumb, just stay between the hash marks. I try to play like if I can like so you're covering 33 pretty closely here. A lot of times in the chaos, it's easy to float like a couple feet away from them. So here, look, you can't really see it, but he's facing up this way, and you're facing this way. So your box of control is like right here, and you have no way to like attack him. And it's just that inch of room is all it took. So you could remedy that by just turning to face upward, right? If you just face more this way, you'll cover it. Um, or just like try to back up. What I'll do is I'll back up into people sometimes, because if they're just sitting there like Richard is, I'll just back up right into his front side, and then our sticks are right together, and I can fight. Great challenge. Okay. Let's see. I want to see this little move he made. And let's find out why that worked. Radiohead has the inside here, but he's actually kind of getting beat. He doesn't have the inside. At this point, Not Lag can cut up. I think you think Radio has the inside. And so you go down. And he actually gets really lucky. So I think you made actually the right decision. And Radio or Not Lad got pretty lucky. And your team plays that pretty much perfectly. Shuts it down. You're floating pretty far away from this scrum. I almost think you should be attacking this. I do think you should be attacking this. Your target should be Richard P right in front of you. So you should be driving to that corner, and then when Richard P turns down, you should go dominate right at the blue line. And if you were just sitting there, right, when your teammate tries to go for this move, right, if you were just sitting right here when your teammate tries to go for this move and makes a mistake, you're there to just drive through and take it. So this is another instance of yes, you're being responsible, but you're also making a sacrifice by backing up like that. So control whatever space is given to you. Here, Richard decides he's not going to go up the boards because he sees this guy's about to get the puck. So you should take advantage of that and go post up right here. That was awesome. It's good positioning all around, good re-attack. So yeah, when you have tight coverage, you start winning the exchanges. That wasn't even like amazing coverage either. It was just tighter than before. A lot of times you'll catch people like that, they have to stop and wait. This pass is slow. Savo has to come to a full stop. Okay. How could we have played this a little better? First of all, how does he end up all by himself out there? I would say you can already, at this moment, you can see this play kind of forming, right? Both of your defenders really low in the zone. Savo's already ahead of him. All he has to do is drive up. So maybe this would be the earliest possible reaction you can make to this play is turn right here instead and come across if you have foresight, wizard vision or something. Makes a pass across. You clearly see it coming like half a second after I said turn right. You just committed to the turn, and then you're like, oh shit. It happens all the time. A way you can predict that is by seeing are both of my offensemen really low? Is there going to be no one to forecheck this on the way out? You know, that might have been a way to see that coming. Let's watch it again. And your other D man is pretty low. I would try to be as close to center ice as I can right here. That's one way you can fix this. Because you're essentially a one-man army back here. You're skewing your control. This is really hard for you to control. You own all this. That's fine. Tavo takes advantage. And because he has a bit of room, he tries some funky shit. You've been really good about. I would slow down right here. And because if you slow down right here, it forces him into a one-way alley. In between you and the goalie is the only place he can go. Don't slow down all the way. Just slow down enough that you want to stay parallel with him. So if I draw a line, you want to stay on his, I won't say parallel because you don't want to be parallel. You want to be driving into him like you are, but you want to be on his level, right? You want to be, I draw a bar here. If he gets too far behind you, he's going to go behind you. And if he gets too far down here, he's going to cut across. So right now you're in perfect position, but you know he's going to cut. And when he cuts, he's trying to change his level and get back behind you. I think you overreact here. And that's why he actually gets by you. Right. So what I might, when coming down, I'm gonna aim to stop right here in this box. And that's it. Ignore, literally, he already has a shot. You know what I mean? He already has the shot to the net. So trying to like dash across and deny it, I feel like is counterproductive because you're opening yourself up to weird deeks like this. So if you just stayed calm and just stopped right here, literally full stop, I think you would have had a better chance. Yeah, I'm gonna put a marker there. I'll show you. And I made a post about this the other day. But at this point, you're just working together with your goalie to give Savo the most annoying shot possible. So I think maybe just face this way. In the crease, or I'm sorry, in between the hash marks, facing your net. And I think if we play this, oh, I didn't mean to do that. And just imagine that you're there. See how Savo runs into that immediately? And yeah, you can make the argument, you'd be like, oh well, he would do something different. He would cut lower. But look at the amount of space between the goalie and this guy right here. It's minuscule. You guys, if Savo tries to skate it into this zone, you guys are gonna turn him into a blender, right? Make Savo take this short side shot that your goalie's gonna fucking easily save. So that's my take on that. Just play from in between the hash marks. Don't give him the pleasure of a reaction. I'm gonna play it one more time, just full speed with that dot there. That's my take on that. Don't give him a reaction. Hmm. This is a really common mistake. There's the urge to touch the puck is immeasurable. But if you look, let it go through and then corral it. You've already won. If you just let this go through. It's actually going slow. It's gonna be like a perfect pass. So this is just I'm gonna call it mechanical error, but also like it is something you can improve upon when you see like, oh, he can't reach it. You got to be patient. Let it come through. When it kicks off, or when I see, sorry, wrong color. When I see this happening, right? I have both of my teammates behind the net. Once again, I would resort to the panic position. Go control this space, you know. And you try to, but it's from an angle. And that was a really good shot. I want to see, do you have a chance to kind of play this more from the middle? Yeah, right here. And so you kind of drive outside, slow down, and drive straight to the back post is where I would be going. You kind of take an arcing route, and that's what dooms you. Good positioning for this rush. Your D man, your other D partner kind of leaving you. I feel like we could have played this a little bit better. He baits you outside. This is the same kind of moment where I want you to just become brain dead for a second. Let go of the keyboard right here. The moment you see this, he's on your left side. Okay, if he wants to try to cut back across the middle, that's totally fine. You have a teammate on your right, you have a teammate behind you. Him making big cuts is good for you and your whole team because it slows him way down. So, one, it's dangerous. He'll probably mishandle it if he does try to go behind you. Um, two, he's gonna slow down if he does that. He wants to keep his speed. He's gonna continue just driving along out here, right? So I think you just overcommit with your turn. You don't even have to press a key right now, and you'll keep him where he is. Once he gets past you, you're kind of out of the play. It's not really one way to think of it is you're driving here, yes, but your end goal is once again this little square right here. You never give this square up under any circumstances. So right now you're doing a perfect job. You're protecting it, driving right here, keeping him on this steady lane. There's no reason to commit to any sort of attack. Your goalie eats these saves for frickin' breakfast. These are your goalie's favorite saves of all time, right? Just stay where you are. I like how you're controlling space here much better. You know, you stop, you recognize, oh, I can turn around. I can control this. And because you're here, this guy isn't even dangerous, right? If Savo was able to hit this puck at all, even literally, all Savo has to do is hit the puck, and this is a breakaway. All he has to do is hit it here, hit it here, anywhere. But because you controlled that space, you just deny that opportunity completely. Mist makes a rough play. I think Radiohead commits to this. So this is an example where Radiohead does what you just did, and he kind of drives. He tries to dive and attack this when all he has to do is let go of his keyboard. Yeah, just don't press anything. Because now he's coming across here and he's got the most deadly shot of all time. This is so hard to stop. Even if you're in the right spot, you end up right here trying to protect, and that's all you can do. Way out of position. Oh man. Okay. How can we? What can we do on our own? Because your team is like abandoning you on defense. So how can you? Hmm. I think this is just you need to recognize when this is happening. This is this could go either way. Your guy could win. Their guy could win. You're not left clicking. You so you'd have like even a little less information than you might otherwise. Um, this is I notice that you don't left click very often. I like hold it all the time. It's definitely preference. But in moments like that, that's kind of why I hold it because I want to see who's gonna win this 50. If you were available for this or made it back in time for this play, I would try to be right here. You're aimed exactly right there. You're aimed right where you should be. You're just behind, that's all. Off the rip on this face off. Take your space again. You should be moving up to this spot right here alongside 33. And then if he cuts, you can follow him, right? That should be your mindset immediately. Is our team has it. Let's create some pressure. Let's control that space. Because the reason I say that and not to be over here is because I see your teammate diving. Right? The moment your teammate is sorry, your teammate passes him up, right? At this moment. So now he becomes your responsibility. Don't be afraid to pick this up. I notice you're really tentative, scooping it off the boards. Maybe drill with a like a teammate, have them pressure you while you try to like pick it up behind the net, and you'll get a lot better at that really quickly. You gotta practice it one on one. Tavo's catching you all the time. Right here, you should see him coming off the boards. This guy is your teammate's responsibility. This guy is your responsibility. So I would be trying to make a right turn here. Said you go left. I almost get a punish off. I really like how you traded places. It was very smart. Just say I'm gonna let you carry it. Let me get behind you. Let's go. Can't even see the map. Okay. This guy right here was your responsibility. This should be his. And this guy's doing his job. This guy's doing his job. You should be covering 33, which you are. This guy's being dove, covered. This guy is not being covered. So maybe 77 should be here. We're going there. Let's see how this plays out. Savo does make the drop pass. And Mist peels off, which kind of leaves you guys in no man's land. Because now this guy's over here all alone. And they make the perfect play, but they can't finish. So, one thing is, this is going to sound weird, but get used to letting your teammates fail. So you D up on 33 right here. I feel like no matter what I mean by that is this is someone else's responsibility. You kind of have to let someone else cover that, and you have to be, how do I put this? You want to be very focused in terms of who you're guarding, right? You don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm kind of guarding 33. Because that, look what happens. You know what I mean? You let him go because the front of the net all of a sudden becomes open. So when I say let your teammates fail, let Mist abandon the coverage, and so be it. But cover your freaking man. Because the other thing is because you leave, you also give Savo another around option, right? If you stayed on that, Savo only has the drop, right? If you pretend you go over here and watch the play, where can Savo go? This is cut off. This is cut off. He can go here. That's his only route. So it shuts down his options, and it feels weird because you're like, you want me to just let this guy stand in front of the net? Yeah, because it's not your responsibility. Miss peeled off. Your other two teammates were doing their jobs, and Miss did have a good idea. He ends up challenging. I'm not even saying Miss did anything wrong. So I'm not even. I guess the way to phrase it is trust your teammates. Let your teammates fail is a little is the cynical side of that. Um, because if you trust someone, you're gonna let them do their thing. You're not gonna helicopter parent them. Yeah, I think a better way to phrase it is just trust your teammates. You know, trust trust them enough to let them fail, if that makes any sense at all. Do your job and trust that they're gonna do theirs. That's a really good look. Nice challenge. Good chip. I think he got a hold of that in the air. Oh, it just got blocked. Oh my God. Jackson with the most Giga Chad challenge of the century. See how even when they're out for a stretch pass, you just take the space away behind them. You end up with opportunities like this. I don't know why they turned up. Savo turned away like he was gonna get that. Okay. When you're in this situation, your goal is to protect the inside. So he's ahead of you. So if he was really good, he would grab it and start cutting like this. So your goal should be to manage that and stay inside this lane. That's how I view this interaction. And because you're kind of not thinking about where he's going to go next, you're thinking about where he is now, you just kind of drive into his ass. Even even guarding the inside here would have helped you block the shot, right? So if you were thinking about, oh, where's he going to go next? His only option is here. Your stick probably would have been right here, right? And that likes to be game. So that's the end of the review. I just wanted to do a little recap. There's three big things I really think you need to focus on. The first one is going to be pressure. Um, and by that I just mean controlling space. Savo was winning a lot of exchanges on you, and it was solely because you were giving him too much space when he was breaking away from the team, when he was looking for rushes. So control the space, tighten up your guard on people. Um, don't be so lax in giving them tons of room, even if your team has the puck, because this is hockey and the play can switch at any moment. So the second thing is carry it just a little bit more. I honestly, I know you were playing kind of one man army defense, but you are kind of in a quarterback role when you play that position like that. So it is on you to find really good passes, and your offense kind of sliced their defense up. So didn't matter too much, but look for more opportunities to carry it, and I think that'll also come with the pressure. A lot of the times when you're controlling space better, you end up with more opportunities to strip people and take the puck away, and then you end up surprising the other team, and you end up with a lot of room to carry. So that's one thing I think you can work on, especially in pugs. Work on it. If you turn it over, obviously that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Um, the last thing is trust, and I watched a teeny bit of the Ponce game, and I will say your team looked way more trustable. Obviously, that was a scrim. This is a pug, but I feel like this is almost a better example because even when your team is not very trustworthy, a lot of the times it pays to trust them, you know. Um, that sounds completely counterintuitive, but I could go back to that example. I don't know that I could find it. I'm too lazy to find it, but trust the homies. Um, even if they're not very trustworthy, because it's it's more about building good habits than it is winning the game a lot of the time. You're not always playing to win. Sometimes you got to look at it like a sparring session. I just want to use this to improve. That'll be it for the review. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.